welcome once more to this monthly reflection together. A special welcome to those who might be joining us for the first time, and also, therefore, just a short explanation as to what we are trying to do together in these brief videos. Well, it's perhaps the most ancient concept we have of the human being's purpose on this earth is that we're here on a journey. The journey starts with physical birth and ends with physical death. And we're all on the journey, and we all have the same destination. But during this journey, we realize that there is a second journey we're making. Not just the one of our body and minds and psyches, but an inner journey, a journey to discover that we are more than this. To discover that our source is this great mystery, which we call spirit, which brings everything that exists into being, including ourselves. So life's journey. Many people are traveling this journey knowing about the inner journey that they're making, and we have abundant advice, suggestions, help in all the great traditions of the world, in every language, in every culture. And yet, with all this advice and all the suggestions, we have to make the experience, each one, for herself, for himself. Each journey is absolutely unique. The people who have gone before us and found freedom in the journey through space-time, freedom and joy, in spite of the pains, the sorrows, the difficulties, the problems, as well as all that seems to be life-giving, the ones who have been able to walk through it all in freedom, aware of their own inner spiritual self, they have left us signs for our own personal journey. The signs are not like road signs that tell us it's 30 kilometers since the place you left and it'll be another 75 kilometers till you get where you're going. There are no indications of distance or progress. And those of you who are already aware of the spiritual journey you're making, I think it's good to remember this. You have signs that tell you, good, things are going well. But no indication at all of, I have made so much progress, because your journey is a unique one. So each month we have been picking up one of these signs and thinking about it for a little while, so that during the coming month you are able to take it away and chew over it to get the essential message and meaning for your own lives. Now, some of you listening to this will have been aware of the spiritual journey for many years. Others perhaps will just be waking up to it, and some are not yet quite sure what it's all about. It doesn't matter. Something will have its message for you. And if you take time just during the coming month to sit back and to go over it and ask yourself questions and then listen to the answers you get from within yourself, it will all have been well worthwhile. The sign we looked at last month when we were together was a sign that we have come to the realization that we can discern the difference between an experience that comes from our intellect, our senses, our emotional life, our psychophysical life, psychological level of consciousness or awareness, and an experience which is free of this, independent of it. an experience which is non-physical, pure spirit, spirit to spirit. Other people might like to call it a God experience. An experience of myself being spirit that doesn't come through my mind and my senses. It's a direct gift. And we are all able to receive that gift. And when we have recognized once for ourselves the difference between these two experiences, then we have a level of certainty on our journey that we didn't have before. We used a symbol, a very ancient symbol, of 2 glasses of water, where the water looks the same, but in actual fact when we taste it, we discover the taste is very different. And today we're going on to a different sign, which some of you may already have noticed in your lives, or some of you might be waiting to recognize it. Let me use a different symbol today. I have this little horse here. If I try to put the horse on top of this, it's going to fall straight off because it's a slope and nothing is holding it. If, though, I take something else and put my little horse here, it's firmly fixed. Nothing magical, no high qualifications in physics, just an ordinary everyday magnet. This type you have on your refrigerator, Kühlschrank. A magnet. The power of magnetic attraction. We're very familiar with it in our everyday lives. Metal to metal. A pull, a powerful pull that holds the two together, keeps them held together, no matter how much things shake and vibrate. We know a certain amount about the magnetic attraction that is at work in our cosmos. Moving planets and galaxies, pulling galaxies together across enormous distances. An invisible but irresistible magnetic attraction. It's a very good symbol because there is, within the depth of every single human being, a magnetic attraction. The presence of the spirit, the mystery, called God by many names. We, all of us, have in our own depth a desire, a need to have this life's journey through space-time, body, psyche, to have it simplified, to see the purpose, the goal, the focus of it all, and to be able to leave aside all those things that are just an unnecessary distraction, an irrelevant use of time on the journey. This desire gets stronger and stronger in our lives, and at some point it becomes so important to us that we try learning more about it. We start reading books, books upon books. Friends recommend books, you read books for yourself, you go to lectures, to courses, you make retreats, you take up a spiritual practice in one of the traditions, yoga asanas, tai chi, meditation in one of its many forms, and you practice, and you read, and you learn, and you seek out people who can teach you. And it goes on and on and on. And the desire for wholeness, for simplicity, is still there. there comes a point, and this is one of the signs, when we realize that we're just saturated with knowing about. And something of the knowing that's direct, intimate experience is still not there for me. And then we sometimes will wonder, what should we do? If we don't realize we've reached saturation point with knowledge, then we may think we have to start all over again, practice meditation or whatever, spiritual practice, rites and rituals in any tradition, more often, in more earnest, read more. That would be a big mistake. When we have reached the point of recognizing that there's an infinite amount we do not know and never will know, we will have matured into welcoming simplicity. Just the absolute essential. Knowing that whatever we're doing in life, driving the car, working with the children, enjoying a holiday, in bed with the grippe, doesn't matter. It's all just part of the external journey from birth to death, and the inner journey goes on, simply, undistracted, a calm, quiet relationship that gets deeper and deeper and deeper. When we allow the magnetic attraction to hold us firmly, like that little magnet on the metal tray, so that nothing that happens shakes us loose. We are held firmly, and our life becomes simple. Oh, it doesn't change externally. There'll still be sickness and difficulties and challenges and joys, but there will be below all this, beyond it all, a stillness of the essential in our lives. And things can come and they can go. They won't disturb that essential relationships. Partly this, or often this, is sometimes the result of a natural growth, getting a little older, like the midlife crisis, when we decide, well, I'm never going to be a brilliant engineer, or I'll certainly never be an opera singer. When we're in our 20s, or even in our teens, we can dream of all sorts of possible things that we can do or become in life. And as we grow slowly older, our choices diminish. They simplify. We see our gifts and our capacities much more clearly. And we can let go the fanciful dreams of becoming the prima ballerina of the age or the greatest politician the country's ever had, and get down to just living the life I have, the responsibilities I have, with freedom, with joy, and with gratitude, because it is such a simple, essential, and perfect life. For those of you who do have a spiritual practice, you will know you reached a stage where you stop fussing around whether you're giving enough time to meditation, or whether you should be doing it differently, or with a different practice or a different method. These all become less important. Only the essential, that you stay awake and you keep present to the mystery of your inner life. Whatever your practice is, I suggest that this month you have a look at it and see how it can be simplified. Or if it is doing that naturally, you don't need a whole book a word or a phrase is enough to feed you. You can go over and over the same phrase, and its meaning deepens, and your confidence in the way you are being led also grows stronger. So, I wish you a wonderful month until we meet again. We're holding the moment, which is a practice we've talked about from the beginning of these reflections, just several times during the day, stopping. Just listen to whatever you're doing, seeing, hearing, tasting, with your full attention. No comment about it, whether you are turning on the ignition key in the car, or shutting down your computer at night, or making coffee for the family's breakfast. Just hold the moment. Be there, fully present, alive at that moment. It's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful help to waking up and staying awake to this innermost journey of yourself. Have a wonderful month until we meet again.